Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Fresh Files, an RPG Limit Break podcast. My name is moonblazewolf. You can call me Blaze. I have summoned some of my friends here today, and we are going to be talking about Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, which is the remaster that just came out on a lot of platforms finally for the classic Final Fantasy Tactics. Um, but before we get to that, I just want to welcome everybody again and remind you that the mission of Fresh Files is to bring everyone in the RPG Limit Break community a timely discussion of new RPGs from a casual perspective, but also with a speedrun curious eye. Everybody here assembled, we're RPG speedrunners, but we're also RPG fans first and foremost. And we hope that you continue to join us in our series of conversations about recent additions to this video game genre that we all love. I am going to go ahead and go around and let everybody introduce themselves. Kios, welcome back.
Hello, I'm Kios. I'm what happens when you stare at the abyss and the abyss stares back.
Surly.
I'm seriously Surly. I exist in the ether at times, and then show up to live events, and then disappear again, and that's my life.
All right, and Ice Blue.
I'm Ice Blue. I'm just here so Blaze doesn't yell at me at GDQ.
This is how you keep getting a hug when you see me at events.
Good. All right.
So you got to be on the podcast.
Let's go.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Good times. Good times. And yeah, thank you everybody again for joining us. It is almost time. We're going to choose our jobs, arrange our units on the battlefield, and jump into our conversation. But first, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping and remind everyone of a few ways that you can support Fresh Files as well as the entire RPG Limit Break community. To start, be sure to check out the RPG Limit Break merch store. You can shop shirts, hoodies, hats, cups, desk mats, and much more. I had to slow down and say that a little bit more directly this time, because when you start saying all of the wonderful things that you can buy on the RPG Limit Break merch store, very quickly they tend to bleed together, and you say unfortunate things. But got through it very good that time. And you can check out all of the goods by heading to store.rpglimitbreak.com. It is a great way to show your support for our community each and every day. Also, make sure that you follow the channel and join us, not just us, but everybody in the Random Encounters weekly series for RPG Limit Break. Every Sunday at noon Eastern, you can join us for a new random encounter. It is a weekly showcase hosted by members of the RPG Limit Break content team. You can check out features such as the Fresh Files podcast, but also speedruns of some of your favorite RPG titles. Coming up in the next few weeks, there's some really cool stuff coming. Cell Kuthmind is doing their show Hidden Encounters next week. It's going to be a Halloween special featuring Costume Quest 2 being run by Echo Tree. And then on Halloween weekend, that's also hard to say, especially this early in the morning, RPG Limit Break is going to be showcasing 4 days of Shin Megami Tensei Persona speedruns. That starts on October 31st through November 3rd. I'm not sure if it's 3 days or 4 days, but that's going to be a fun time all throughout Halloween weekend. So be sure to mark your calendars. Support awesome RPG speedrunning content all throughout the year on the RPG Limit Break channel. And then lastly, this is a big, exciting announcement for us specifically. The Fresh Files podcast is now available on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. To find us, just search for RPGLB on both platforms, and make sure you give us a follow, whichever podcast platform you listen to. It is really a great way to help build our user base and our audience. And obviously not everyone is going to be able to catch every episode live. So just give us a follow now, and next time we do this, it'll just be there waiting for you. When you're on your commute, or whatever it is that you do when you like to listen to podcasts. I know I like to listen to podcasts in the car or at the gym a lot. But you can catch our podcast as well alongside some of your other the other podcasts that you enjoy listening to. There's a lot of really good video game and RPG podcasts out there, and we're hoping that you will include us in that little your collection as well. So thank you very much in advance for that. So okay, let's get into it. I know we are all gathered here today to talk about the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, the Ivalice Chronicles. It came out about 3 weeks ago now. It came out at the very end of September. I know we were talking a little bit before the show. I don't think any of us have actually finished the remaster, but we have all played the original. So quick status update. Where is everybody at? Or you can abstain if you prefer not to say. I will just start. I got to last night the infamous one-on-one battle in chapter 3 between Ramza and Weegraf, and I have now left the infamous one-on-one battle between Ramza and Weegraf, and I will be doing a little bit of grinding, which really just transported me right back to 1997 in a lot of ways. But that's kind of where I'm at. I've really been enjoying it so far. Kios, how about you?
I unfortunately have not obtained a copy of the game yet. Just a lot of things going on currently. But I have been watching a lot of playthroughs and like a lot of people that I personally know who've not played the original. So that's honestly been just as exciting for me, watching people get to experience a game that, you know, I've played before. But just them seeing it in a modern form has been my excitement and enough to keep my interest.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to talk about a little bit more when we get to the main discussion, because my partner Ferric is playing it for the first time, and that's been a really fun part of my experience so far. But yeah, a little bit more on that when we get there. Surly, how about you? Where are you at with it?
I finished up chapter 2 yesterday. So I'm just getting to the fun stuff. The poacher's dens are opened up, and really looking forward to like finishing making the party now that most of the options are available. But yeah, it's been good so far. I've really been enjoying some of the changes that have been made, and definitely like the direction that they did for the art. So yeah.
Ice Blue, how about you? I saw you got to stream it on day one on the front page at Twitch, so that was really cool. You know, how's it been? How's it been for you so far?
I've been enjoying it. It's really nice to be able to like play the game again, just with more beautiful updated graphics, and just being able to like see like what like kind of work they've done on it. I'm at the end of chapter 2. I'm on the mission where you have to like go back to the I guess what is it, the monastery, because you found out some big major plot twists. But I've also been running around with some very major sticky fingers, and I definitely robbed Gafgarion a couple of times.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It was really rude because like in that mission where it's like you see like the big like gallows in front, like in the middle of the stage, he has the blood sword. Like I stole the blood sword from him and then I hit him with flare. I was like, all right, see you later, buddy.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. Yeah, I think so yeah, just to kind of talk a little bit generally about the game. I think one of the legacies of this game is it really was a game that you really had to interact with the systems. And I think just to kind of build off of what you were talking about with like the stealing and then dropping a flare on him, like that is a very unique build clearly that you have going on there. But I think that's part of the fun of the game, is just that you have the freedom to I'll put a little asterisk next to that, particularly for the fight that I'm at right now. But like, you do have a lot of freedom to just kind of build your Ramza or your party in a lot of different ways, and for the most part, they work as long as you kind of take the time to invest in the skills and like your levels and things like that. And I really still feel like that is part of the game and the mechanics in a way that's been a lot of fun for me. Especially with so many years of, playing the game and being aware of the game and just kind of knowing what can be fun in the game. But But yeah, how about everybody else? Has anybody found a new fun combination, or are you kind of sticking to a lot of the stuff that you did originally? Or like, what's your favorite thing to do to break the game?
Math.
Oh, math. We said we weren't going to do
think-
math on stream, but
I think
Yeah,
that's
we
just
got
like
all started early.
the traditional way to break the game is just math.
Yep. Listen,
I've definitely
Cherry
brought
Boy
a
isn't
couple.
here.
I definitely brought a couple of my party members through the monk line just so I can run around and just punch
Mhm.
repeatedly.
Big fan of the
Having-
monk line.
Yeah,
Chakra is another like standout early game ability. It's fabulous.
Chakra is so good.
Yeah.
That MP regen though.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Pios, what's your favorite way to break? You said math, but like, let's, tell the math. Is there more to it than that? What do you got?
Just math.
Just math.
My
All right.
my earliest like introduction to like this game online was right when I started Twitch. I want to say like Magus and Sweet Cherry Boy JP were doing a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics speed runs. So I learned many a things that I didn't quite understand as a youngin when I had played this, and just kind of brute forced my way through it, I guess would be the previous playthrough or the first playthrough. So I don't know. I was just always fascinated with like what we're talking about now. Like there are so many different combinations. Some of them are great. Some of them aren't so great, but you know, that's where I've found a lot of joy from this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I just think too, let's talk a little bit about what they changed for the was it enhanced version? What did they call it? There's like the
Enhanced
classic enhanced version. So some of the quality of life changes that I have personally appreciated so far is there's just kind of a general speed up that you can do during battles. So I love to just kind of like when it's the enemies doing their thing, just let them kind of speed up and not really, pay too much attention. Hopefully they don't do anything too horrible to my team, but that's been a nice function. The saving and being able to skip random battles as well. I think those are probably the two other big ones. How many of us have in their original playthroughs got soft locked somewhere because you didn't realize that you needed to grind and you were in a chain of battles? Yep. I think we all did that. Yep.
Yep.
So having the battles be more sequenced and the ability to saber back out in between is also really nice. Anything else
the
about the
ability
quality of
to-
life stuff?
The
Anybody
ability
wants
to
to talk
just
about?
start a random battle on the thing just by clicking that's a
Yes.
big major instead of
Yeah.
having to like constantly walk back and forth. I think that was like a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes things a lot easier.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Voice acting, that's quality of life feature. I like that.
Oh yeah,
Quality of life.
it's really good voice acting too. I have to say, I've
Mhm.
been really enjoying it so far. It does get a little long in the tooth at times. I think there's a couple scenes that maybe needed to be tightened up just a little bit, but yeah, I think that one of the strengths of this game has always just been that the story is really good, but I don't think I appreciated it as much until the voice acting really kind of breathed some life into some of the characters that I didn't appreciate as much before. Has anybody else noticed that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
mean-
the biggest breath of life was what is it, Melodia? Weegarth's sister. Like hearing like her like talk about like the struggles and things like that. I was like, oh, it brings more out of like enjoying that character and like
Mhm.
feeling for that character.
Yeah.
This is my first time actually with like the War of the Lions translation. So all of my nostalgia and everything is based off of the original game. I hadn't played any of the minor update ones, so this is my first time having like proper English. So it's been great. It's a lot easier to follow. I'm not wondering what they're talking about at times. Yeah, huge fan.
Eos, how about you? Any I mean, you said you've watched a lot. I don't know if you've been been able to ingest a lot of the voice acting, but what do you think?
The voice acting is good, and I know we've talked about it, and I know it's almost something we could all agree with without even me having to ask. But modern voice acting, like voice acting performances in games the past 3 years, 4 years, has just been tremendous. Like I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of developers and studios have really realized how important it is to have really good, solid, clean voice acting. For me, it's just a joy because I can listen to it and discern a little bit more from the voice direction. And like you said, the game can get a little long in the tooth, not to like a Trails level or Xenogears level of just exposition and text dump, but it makes it so much more cohesive to me. And I don't know if it's, as I've gotten older and my time's more precious or just, adult ADHD burnout, but that's just been huge for me. It's been able to kind of reignite my passion for the game, and I think makes it a much easier product to present, like especially in a live streaming format.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of that. I think there's a couple, we mentioned Meludia, which I think that's right, Meluda. Yeah, WeGraph's sister as just a character. I'm watching Chad also. Chad is always very helpful for correcting anything like that. But yeah, broth of bean. That was a good line right there that they brought in. But yeah, I really think it just kind of brought out the story and the narrative and the world building in some ways that I did not appreciate, especially as someone who's been very intimately familiar with the story and the world of tactics for a long time. We were talking a little bit during the pre-show, and I also mentioned Ivalice just because it's one thing to kind of be aware of like what she's doing, but then like you just get a sense for how heartbreaking it is through her emoting and voice acting of the voice actor. It really just kind of brings that home in a lot of ways. And another little subtle thing that I was appreciating was scattered throughout the game when you have the Lucavi kind of go all Lucavi mode and just like absolutely tear somebody up. Like the screams and stuff like that, very like dark horror-y kinds of moments. That's just really good. Like, there's nothing beats like a good voice acting murder scream. I don't know how else to put it, but I've been enjoying just some of those. Like it really just elevates the whole experience, I think, in a lot of ways that I've really appreciated a lot. So
I definitely, when I first booted it up, like, and I found out that like each individual person like dying had their own like unique death sound. I was like, oh no, I can't have this. So I went and booted up the classic version on it just to kill someone so I can hear them go, ah! When they die. Yeah. And I was like, there's the crisp sound in my ears.
Yep.
So how, aside from the voice acting and some of this other stuff, I know we wanted to have a little bit of a conversation about just kind of remasters in general, remakes in general. And I think maybe let's use this kind of as an example. Obviously, feel free to compare to any other remakes or remasters that you've played. But Surly, how about let's start with you. So how do you feel that the tactics experience works in this kind of I would say it's a remaster personally. I don't know if we have strong definitions, but when you don't give it much of a fresh coat of paint, I would say to me, that's a remaster. Remake is like, we gutted the thing and like from the ground up, we remade the game. So to me, this is a remaster. But
Sure.
like, how do you think how does this feel as a remaster? Do you feel like you got your money's worth?
Um, Monetary side, yes. I think between the new visuals and the voice acting, absolutely. Like I'm big fan of kind of what they've done with tactics. They did keep a lot of the good, like some of the crunchiness to it. They kept a lot of the good feel. Really did enjoy how it's given me some of the same nostalgia beats and feels as like if I'm sitting in front of my old CRT playing the PS1 version. It's still kind of that homey diorama crunchy tactics thing. And I very much appreciate that they kept that and then did do some nice thoughtful inclusions like the battle flee, the battle initiation, the autosaves, like all these little modern conveniences that we have come to know and love. Um, and honestly do make the experience, in my opinion, better. So I guess in terms of like other remasters, remakes, I haven't done too many. Like I haven't touched the Final Fantasy VII one yet. Waiting for Game 3 to drop there. But like the Pixel remasters, I've very much been enjoying and going back to being able to play Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3 games that I played either on like a Game Boy version or emulated, and just I don't know. It's been really nice to have access to the game, access to the stories, but done in a way that is not um, quite as frustrating because the limits that were in place at the time.
Yeah, those are all really good points. I think that the Pixel remaster comparison feels very apt to me. It does feel kind of like a Pixel remaster version of Tactics in a lot of ways. Um, Icewill, you played a lot of Pixel remasters. What do you think?
Did I play a lot of Pixel remasters? I think my poor Steam library says I have like over 300 hours in 1, 2, and 3. But no, to kind of like go off of what Surly was saying, like it's for me. I think though I got my money's worth. Just I haven't even finished it. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth just because like I love Tactics. I've been itching to replay it, but like I don't have a PS1 anymore. That's like the only console I'm missing. So like, and I'm if you know me, I am a very sensitive person to like input lag and things like that. So like emulators are just out of the question for me. Um,
Mhm.
so like not being able to like I've been itching to play it, and then like when I saw that the announcement that they were gonna remake the game, and I was like it's over. I was like I can't wait. This is gonna be great. Um, but yeah, like my experience with it, like it's kind of it's like a pixel remaster version of the game. It's really good. There's a lot of quality of life that they added. The voice acting was great. Um, and I do like how they added a little bit of like heck you to some of these missions early on. Because like I'm looking over these maps, I was like, wait a minute, this unit wasn't on this map before. Shout outs to that geomancer in chapter 2 that was added to I was like, wait a minute, why am I getting petrified this early in the game? Hold on. That was I think they did a good job with making it just a tad bit more difficult in missions, especially tactician mode. I don't know if any of y'all are playing tactician mode. But yeah, it's definitely been an experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up the PS1 version because this is the first. So I think this game being on Steam is a huge win. Like that is a big deal for sure, right there. I'm playing it on PS5, but like the fact that you can get this on PC now is just. I'm sure it's a really big deal for a lot of people as well. Because this game has been remade before, but it was on the PSP and then
PSP.
like a mobile phone version. Yeah. So not exactly accessible in the way that like a Steam version would be. So yeah. Kios, anything that you want to add to our discussion?
I think, yeah, you're putting me last, so I can kind of pivot us a little bit here. Doing my research online, and I had noticed that a lot of the game director had mentioned that this game was incredibly special in the fact that they didn't have access to a lot of the original code. But they were able to find like basically repositories and information that people had preserved online, which is really cool. And I walk somewhere between the line of we don't need to remake everything, and there are certain things that just really are starting to become less accessible, or like you've mentioned, a lot of the quality of life stuff. And I'll pull up my boomer pants here and say, well, time is a very valuable thing. But like a lot of the things that we really enjoy and have come to learn and love in gaming are things like accessibility via Steam, or quick save, or the ability to flee or turn off random encounters or turn them on. And I think this kind of slowly brings us to the question of at what point should things be preserved. And I think it's pretty cool that hardcore fans of this game. It's definitely not the most loved Final Fantasy game, but part of it exists because people were passionate about it and took down notes or old Ultimania stuff, or figured out formulas that the creators of the game didn't even have access to anymore. So that stuff like that's really neat, and like that, I listen. I'll be buying it once I finish paying off the roof on the house. So I definitely would like to spend my hard-earned money on something that is, one, very evocative of the times, but two, I think an important step in media preservation.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that, and I agree. This is a game that was this was a good game to remaster. I think we can all agree with that. Like, it was not,
Definitely
it is a
deserving.
beloved game that a lot of people did not have great access to, that meant a lot to a lot of people, and just the format of the game and the system really benefited from a lot of quality of life, I think, in ways that maybe other games wouldn't have benefited quite as much from. But yeah, it's nice to see it kind of brought forward. I mentioned a little earlier on, so part of my experience has been my partner is playing it for the first time, and my partner Ferric has actually played some fairly recent tactical RPG games. So stuff like Triangle Strategy, the Tactics Ogre remake that was released a few years ago, and it's been really interesting for me as someone who played the original version of this game a lot to kind of compare notes with him. I think there's a lot of stuff that is still very much kind of has not been altered from its time, because it's still frustrating to run into a particular battle, get your butt handed to you, and then have to back out and do like some grinding or figure out a different combination of things. But at least you have the option of backing out now and actually doing that. But you still have to be committed. I think, Surly, you used the word kind of like crunchy to describe some of that. Maybe not that specifically, but like, it's a hard game and it's a challenging game, and you do have to work your way through certain puzzles as you're playing. One thing that I've been a little disappointed about, I will just say, is the camera. I wish they could have done something a little better or a little different with the camera. Because it's just kind of, it's a little unacceptable in my mind. And Ferric also pointed this out to me. It's like, how come you like don't get translucent, like geography or something, if like you're literally something is behind or under, you still have those moments where it's like I'm going under a bridge or like a gate, and I cannot see what my character is doing or where they're going to end up. And it would have been nice to maybe figure some of that out a little bit. it seems a little silly that didn't get a little bit of a update, but I think other than that, I don't have any. That's not even a major quibble. That's just a minor little thing that he pointed out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, this camera does kind of like not function super well, compared to how it could. But yeah, like those diorama maps, they're just the coolest. There's nothing like that. It's so captivating, and I feel the same feelings towards the aesthetic of this game, and the story and some of the other choices, the characters that they were true 30, not quite 30, almost 30 years ago when this game was originally released, and it really holds up well today. Um, and I think Matsuno was very involved, the original director, I believe, producer of the game, in bringing it forward, and even put out a statement that was like, yeah, this is like the perfect time to be re-releasing Final Fantasy Tactics. So for a variety of reasons that we don't have to elaborate on too much, but I mean, it really does hit hard. The moments where it hits, it really hits hard still. So any favorite moments that you've all relived playing through before we head on to our next little segment that we wanted to do something fun?
I mean, I haven't gotten to some of my favorite moments yet because a lot of those are in chapter 3.
That's fair.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. But I do like the initial like stone reveal, and you get the taste at the end of chapter 2 of what's to come. It's always good. And it also, like, years later now, because it's been a long time since I've touched Tactics, so I've played like 12 and Final Fantasy 14 and stuff in between that's been back in Ivalice, and so catching some of the tie-ins again, it's like I know where it came from, but I didn't quite remember how tight some of those things were. So that's been fun.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just appreciate the fact that I can, maybe not die at Dorter. I have something else to do besides dying at Dorter. It's great.
I hate to break it to you, Kios. I definitely died at Dorter a couple times in the early game.
It's acceptable. What I'm saying is the unacceptable levels of death at Dorter.
It's like the game is like introduced as like, oh, by the way, the enemy has mages and they have like 100 health, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. This is the battle. This is the battle where we learn not to put 4 of our enemies together in a T shape. Or our characters, excuse me, our party members. Or if there's a summoner, just like scatter them to the 4 winds as best you can.
You want to buff multiple party members? No. None of that.
No. Nope. Final
All
Fantasy
right.
Tactics, putting the tactics back in Final Fantasy.
That's right. All right. Well, I know we wanted to do a fun segment here, so we have something queued up for everybody. This is going to be, we were just kind of talking about some of the specific jobs, but we wanted to kind of go through as a group, and we have a little tier maker set up here. So we want to do a tier list of the jobs. So I unfortunately was only able to find portraits that had both of the like the portrait, male and female, which is good because now we don't have to be like, oh, I was only able to find the male portraits. Sorry, everyone. But also they're not really labeled, and there's a lot of sprites on this, but we're gonna get through it. So we thought it'd be fun to go through and rank the different jobs on the tier maker. So let's just kind of go in the order that the game gives them to you in, and then we can kind of discuss it in that regard. So like most basic to most advanced jobs. So let's start with the good old Squire. Who wants to nominate Squire for a particular tier?
It's a solid B.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is.
I think yeah, B sounds proper for it.
We like B.
JP boost, rock
JP
throw.
boost, yeah, JP boost being the big thing. And then in the remake, because now with the speed up options, you can just kind of spam focus and just
yeah,
pile on XP and and JP?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I would probably. It depends on the view. The like, even I would say like grinding is even just so important in the casual playthrough of this game. Like, we're not even talking about speedrunning or anything like that. But like, I mean, Squire really does have the best grinding skills. So I kind of would put it in the A tier just for that reason. It's such a good sub job.
True.
I think getting early access to like movement 1 is like really big, just because like a lot of these units, like I think what your chemist and your mage only have 3 movement tiles at the start.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah.
and then like you don't want to just slap a pair of battle boots on everyone and just be like, hey, move further.
Hey now.
Hey everyone, we got you some new shoes.
Yeah.
You're too slow. Get to
So
step
many people are still wearing their new shoes. They're doing great.
They are new boot goofing.
Did they? That actually reminded me of some. Did they change like how much money you get from battles in the enhanced version? Because I suddenly feel like I have a lot of more money at most times in this game, and I do not remember that being part of the classic Final Fantasy Tactics experience.
It does seem higher. I don't know if it actually is or not.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Maybe
I
it
haven't had
seems
money
that way
issues,
because
which is nice. So
maybe it seems that way because you can just kind of like power through battles faster now.
yeah, that could be. Are we feeling good about B though? I think it's an A personally, just because I think it's such a good sub job. But I know we're figuring out the rules of the tier maker discussion as we're going. So, and this is not a super serious scientific exercise either. So
It's hard to say. I think B is proper for him just because it's a well-rounded unit that can pretty much use whatever.
all right.
But it has its weaknesses though.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's move on then to Chemist. I am going to nominate Chemist for the A tier, and the reason why is because I have had Chemist save my butt so many times playing this game, and I think Auto Potion is also one of the best abilities in the game. Later on, they get to use guns, and guns are really good because you can just basically plink almost any spot on the map. So to me, Chemist is just a really underrated and underappreciated job.
Auto Potion just it's A Auto Potion Auto Potion.
My guns. Danny DeVito.
No arguments here.
My guns.
I also love throwing stuff, so you'll find out in a little
Yes.
bit. I have a big love of throwing things.
Throwing everything. Surly is a chucker. Likes to chuck
throw your
items
gun.
all over the map.
Just say Disgaea and I get along great.
Dude.
Eos, you like having a chemist in your party?
Yeah, absolutely. Auto Potion
All
is
right.
great because I'm super lazy.
Best healing in the game right there.
Yep.
All right. So that kind of is our two basic jobs. So the next tier is Knight, Archer, White Mage, and Black Mage. Does anybody want to advocate for a particular job out of those four and where it should go?
Not really.
Not really. Of the four, which of those four do we think is the best? Is it
Probably
Knight or
Black Mage.
I was going to say Black Mage.
They're
Probably
also the
Black
cutest.
They are the cutest. Like, look at those faces. You can't really argue with that. Do we think
I
Black
just
Mage
love
is an
the
A tier
hair,
job?
too.
I'd say it's
The
an
hair.
A tier job, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Defend your ranking.
I mean, I kind of defended it earlier when I was talking about, stealing Gafgarian's blood sword and then hitting him with flare.
That is true. Yeah, I know Ferric has an affinity for the flare spell as well. I do not have a Black Mage in my party currently, but we'll get to that probably in the next tier to talk about why. But yeah.
I think in that mission it splits your party. So I put the Black Mage and somebody who had monk abilities like underneath the bridge. So whenever I'd cast flare, I would be like chakra, chakra, flare, chakra, chakra, flare.
Mhm.
Nice.
All
No,
right.
that early AoE damage is so good.
Yes,
It's just so good.
very.
Yeah. Well, and like I think the ability to hit multiple tiles is
Yep.
something you almost always have to have somebody who can deal like that spread damage. At range especially, just like it just makes certain fights so much easier. How do we feel about Knight? What's Knight to everybody? To me, it's kind of like a B or maybe even a C. I just don't find the abilities all that useful, other than like the fact that they can use swords and heavy armor is pretty good in like late chapter 1 into chapter 2. But after that, I feel like you don't really want to use a knight anymore.
Yeah, kind of a C tier for me.
Yep.
Okay.
The only redeeming quality of it is the health pool and the armor set.
I would put it into D tier. I feel like the only like good thing about them is the fact that they just become HP walls, especially like in the beginning. But then like later on, when you're fiddling around and finding out like what kind of jobs you want to do, everybody just does enough damage to just kind of like HP just becomes like you don't need it
Useless.
very much.
Yeah.
I would go D as well. Not to tell people how to play games, but it very much reminds me of the how Dark Souls kind of teaches you, yeah, you can beat the game if you hide behind your shield and just do pokey damage. Can you get through it? Yeah, I guess, but like, does it constitute as truly playing the game in a fun and exciting way? Maybe not so much, but yeah, there's definitely a fall off as well as you get in. Like HP just becomes a number. It doesn't really actually mean anything at a certain point in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's a good. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I totally agree. I think you get to a point pretty quickly where you have better options, and they really don't hold up utility wise. There is that one sweet spot period of time where I do think they can be overpowered compared to a lot of the units you run into, but that doesn't last particularly long. So,
Nope.
how about Archer? I enjoyed having archers in Act 1. But they did also kind of fall off pretty quickly. So to me, again, that's probably like a C or a D.
I would put it in C just purely off of the text that aim plus 20 gives you. I don't know if you actually gone and read the text of aim plus 20.
No, I think I did, but I don't remember what it was. So please remind me, because I do remember.
It says like spend almost an eternity powering up and waiting to do damage. And I was like, okay, so we got to wait for the next Tactics remake to come out before I actually use aim 20.
I'll get it out. I'll get that shot in one of these days.
I think the abilities in Archer are extremely underwhelming. Archer's Bane's somewhat nice, but the elemental bows are actually I've enjoyed using the random encounters. So if you end up in like bombs or the zombies or whatever, having an elemental bow on hand has been actually quite fun. And then you tie that with some of the more vertical maps. I've enjoyed Archer more than I used to. So it can stay out of D tier.
It is average, therefore it is C.
All right,
It's
and then our
utilitarian.
Yeah. I forgot about the elemental bows. That's a good point. Not a major point, but a point in the column for archers for sure. So, and I think early on you just don't have great ranged options, and it can really help. Kind of bridge that early gap. White mage. Does anybody use white mage? I don't. I find chemist to be just superior to white mage in pretty much every respect, but I imagine it like a sub job. It has a certain amount of utility.
I'm running a sub job white mage.
Okay.
It's handy. It's nice for the like start of game quick buff. Past that, like the healing is going to be better out of the chemist. But
yeah, it's pretty much it's okay until you get chemist. It make do.
I would
Which is,
say
well, you always have chemist, but you don't have chemist with a gun until later. So
I would say it's hard to say either B or C tier.
Yeah.
Holy is very nice, but you don't get holy until like way later.
Yeah.
And then again, auto potion exists as an ability, so it's kind of like, well, you don't really need a healer.
Mhm.
Just do more damage. You'll never need a healer.
That's kind of my thing in
Right.
this game, right? Like, I think that's part of where my indifference towards white mage is coming from. Is like, I don't want to spend turns healing.
Spend
Oh.
turns doing damage instead.
Just
B
swing
or a C
harder.
for the poor white mage. What do we think? I think it's one of those two, right?
I would
C.
probably put it in C.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion, though.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
All right. I think we're off to a good start here. Definitely a good sprites though.
Yeah, for sure.
Good design. Great design.
It's it is one of those things to keep in mind. Like, I do think, we didn't talk about this before, but like part of what was really cool about Tactics was it brought back the job system that hadn't existed for quite a while. And
Yeah.
especially in the West, like we didn't have FF5, so it was really fun just to kind of see jobs again. Like that was definitely part of the fun of Tactics to me.
And meaningful jobs.
Yes, that is also true. All right. So our next tier, so this is kind of, we're going via what unlocks what. So our next tier is Monk, Time Mage, Summoner, Thief, and Mystic. I am going to go first because I would like to talk about Summoner and how good Summoner is. Oh my lord, Summoners are so good, especially now with the turn order on the left side, so you can actually make sure that like your spell is going to hit the things that you want it to hit. To me, Summoner is an S tier, and it's not even particularly close. Would anyone like to disagree with me?
Summon's one of my favorite things in Final Fantasy games, period. So, no.
Yep. Nah, it's like you said, especially with actually having the turn order now, which somehow I think we all managed to skip over mentioning as a quality of life thing. Super
Yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah, it really is. The visualization of like, although they didn't do it for Dragoon, which we'll get to, which is actually really annoying. But like, when your Dragoon jumps, you still don't know quite for sure when they're going to come back down. But for like spells and summons and stuff like that, you get to see like when the spell is going to go off. So if you target a tile, you'll know if the person is going to still be in the tile when it hits. So it's so much, it's so much less frustrating, I would say. But yeah, I've been enjoying nuking my great swaths of the map with Bahamut and Odin and Leviathan, because I just jumped right to the advanced summons. That was my grind. I'm like, I'm grinding up to Bahamut. Let's go. It was fun. And the animations still rule too. They're those really fun, like zoom out and then just like the entire map gets inundated with the spell. So big fan of the Summoner. Okay, so we've got Thief, Mystic, Time Mage, and Monk for the rest. We were talking about monks earlier. Like, who wants to talk about Monk and nominate Monk for a particular tier here?
If Monk is anything less than S rank, you're incorrect.
You're just
Agreed.
not obviously playing the same game as us.
All right.
Fists are the most powerful weapon in fantasy games. It's fine.
The utility you get from a monk early on is ridiculous. Like the massive chakra boosts, like the healing and MP recovery. You get long range, like that can just hit in a straight line. You get an early, like just ranged target attack that does a ton of damage. It's just, it's easily an S tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. So some jobs work better as a main job, and some work better as a sub job. Monk is definitely one of those that works better as a main job, I think.
Oh, one thing to point out. So with Ivalice Chronicles, they actually removed gender restrictions off of certain equipment. So like
Ooh.
you can now have a monk with a ribbon, which
Nice.
is
Easy mode
which
enabled.
is whew, yeah.
Yeah, except for one. We'll get to that while we're making our tier list here, but sorry, men, you can't dance in this game still. But you can play.
Don't tell me what to do.
I know, this is disappointing. Well, and then like, okay, they left in a lot of the stuff where it's like the characters based on gender are predisposed to certain stats and different things like that, which is just kind of annoying, but yeah, they did that. Traditional gender roles in my Final Fantasy Tactics 2025 version. What were you thinking? Come on, Square. But yeah, that is a good point on the I did notice that on the equipment that the gender restrictions were removed, so that is a good shout out. All right, we've got Time Mage, Thief, and Mystic. I like Thief. Ice, you were talking about using a lot of thievery and sticky fingers. I really like Thief because they get movement +2, and that's about it. But it is very good.
I feel like because like and Time Mage gets the teleport ability, but it takes a ton of JP.
So long.
It's I definitely did grind it. I have it on Ramza on my playthrough right now. But like I feel like Thief is just majorly a sub job. Like once you get like steel weapons, steel armor, steel accessories, stuff like that. I feel like Thief just becomes what class was that again? Oh right, I'm a monk.
Yeah.
I need a monk.
But the utility of those skills is great. The extra gil you can get off your stealing stuff, your extra gil you're going to get off of poaching, the general speediness of a thief. Some of the daggers actually have some pretty solid effects. So the silence, the darkness, the whatever. So A-ish for me.
I would say A, yeah. I do love that you can basically just run up in battle and just steal someone's like everything, like their clothes, their shoes, their weapon. And then like I did that in the mission with where I stole that blood sword from Gafgarion because I had a unit up top and I basically just stole all their clothes and they had like 12 HP and I was like
Nicely done.
I personally love a good thief.
You love a good thief?
I love a good thief.
Yeah. I never feel bad about having a thief when I'm using it to unlock other stuff because a lot of the good jobs in the game run through thief. But yeah, that was kind of what I dumped my JP into movement +2 and jump +2 just in case. But yeah, they're pretty solid. Time Mage, I like Time Mage. I'd probably put them as an A. They're one of the better mage jobs if you're gonna main a mage job.
teleport.
Teleport yeah, PX in the chat. Teleport went from 800 to 3000 JP. I've not invested in Time Mage enough to realize that, but ouch.
Yeah.
Time Mage stocks taking a little bit of a hit there, but I think they're still an A to me personally.
You just got to grind a little more.
It's definitely
It's just still great. Gravity's still great.
I always get a little nervous. Like I think some of it too is like what job makes you nervous when you see it on the other side of the battlefield too? I think Time Mage generally like I'm just like, I don't like Time Mages. They can do some really good stuff.
Please don't stop me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Please don't be smart about how you do things. Mystic, I'm very on Mystic. I don't think they're particularly. I don't have any stronger feelings one way or another. Anybody have strong feelings about Mystic as a job?
No strong
I don't
feelings.
even remember using it.
No strong feelings. This is the first time I've really used one.
Yeah.
And it's been fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'm using one. I'm not loving it. I'm just kind of doing it because, sure, why not? But I would say they're probably a C or even a D.
They do have some decent.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, they do have some decent like utility stuff. So they're like the counter time mage ish. Uh, it's kind of fun. I don't know, but nothing outstanding for me. Yeah,
Okay.
I would
takeaway.
place it probably B tier just because of the utility it has.
Okay. Yeah, it does interact with a lot of. It does interact with the game in a pretty unique way in a lot of ways. So it does have that going for it. I just don't know the use cases super well at the moment, but not for mostly for lack of trying. So our next batch is Orator, Geomancer, and Dragoon. That one's Geomancer. I had to remind myself. I'm like, okay, which is which here? Let's talk about Geomancer. I loved
Big
playing
fan.
as a Geomancer is like that job that I have like a unhealthy relationship with, I think, historically with this game. It's just really fun to use, but it's not very good. Like I don't think it's very good, but I love using Geomancer. There's just something fun about it, and I don't know.
I love I maxed out a Geomancer on my playthrough like before, like where I'm at. Like I have a maxed out Geomancer. I love Geomancy as an ability. It's
Hmm.
you take whatever like land you're on, and you're just like, I'm just gonna use this to kick your butt.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely do like the aesthetic on Geos. It gets tricky for me because I'm one of those people who likes to then like float around the map later on. So
Yeah.
it doesn't work so well with the geomancy, but that's I do really like their design. I do really like their aesthetic. I just don't use them very often.
Hmm.
I
To me,
I
it's
would
like a B. It's a B. What do you think, Kios?
I would push A, to be honest, especially
I
in the
agree.
right setting.
I
Okay.
agree.
Why do you think they're A tier, Kios?
Just like excuse me, kind of like how I said, you can just really, you know, literally use what's at hand and feet as you need to, and that gives it it's, I don't personally, like it kind of leans slightly with yours. Like I played with it a bit in FF5 and developed a mildly unhealthy obsession with it.
I feel like in
Honestly, same.
FF5,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think in
FF5 is
FF5
good, though.
Geo is definitely like something that's required in FF5, especially like when you go through like Exdeath's Castle. There's so many like damage tiles in there, and you're just like, well,
Mhm.
I'm gonna spend 20 years in this menu constantly healing every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Orator and Dragoon remaining in this little grouping here.
Dragoons feel a little underwhelming in this version.
I really
I
want to like them.
I,
They're
I
my
do too.
geomancer.
I do too. Like I had one and I was like, "Oh, this is great." And then I did jump, and then like like like
Yeah.
like Blaze said earlier, since
Yeah.
you can't really see like when the jump is going to land, and like I'm not the kind of like tactics gamer that's going to be like, "Well, let me calculate my speed stat here and figure out when my character is going to." No, I'm pushing buttons like a caveman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
I love
I
jump. I
really
love
want
jump
to
when
like
I go
them.
up, and then I hate jump when I come back down. It's like
And nothing's there.
Yep.
yeah. But
You'll
it's better
teach me
than
how
a
to jump,
knight. Like
Chester? Okay.
that's kind of how I feel about Dragoon. It's like it's better than knight.
Honestly, my character KO'd from someone is better than a knight. But
Oh no.
Ouch.
I
I
think
think
it was
part.
said earlier
Oh,
in chat. I think it was said earlier in chat, you love to see when an enemy formation has a bunch of knights on it, and you're just like, quiet, peaceful destruction map.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him in C for now. If anybody feels strongly that is
Seems
not the correct
appropriate.
place for them, yeah. I do like that. I think the trap with Dragoon is a lot of stuff starts to counter you later on, and you're like, oh, if I'm a Dragoon, I can attack from 2 tiles away and not get countered, and that feels good. But then you just run into all of the other problems that the job has, and it feels bad. So
they
Not being
catch you.
targetable.
yeah. Yeah, they have some fun abilities. I do think they have some fun abilities, but it's also just kind of very silly how it's organized in their job tree, where it's like vertical +1, horizontal +1, or you can just like grind and then do +20, I guess. So, or 10. I think it's 10. What does it max out at? Is it 10 or 20? It's a lot.
Probably
yeah.
10.
I have not gotten to the point where I can jump anywhere on the map, but I think that's the dream with a Dragoon, and then you just hope that you land on something when you come down. So
Stand on a tree, jump from there.
yeah, I think so. Or has anybody played with Order very much?
Yes.
They use a book. It's kind of fun, right? They use the book, or is that the arithmetician? Okay, nobody knows. It's fine. Nobody can remember.
Order, I would say either A, or maybe even S, just because like Entice is such a strong ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially like just be like, hey, come join us. Okay.
Long range charmer, yeah.
Yeah.
That and like I think Stall is really good. Just for slowing down like enemies, like attacking and moving and things like that. I definitely have a couple of like sub job orders on my my squad.
Okay. We're thinking S
Turn
or
everything
A.
into a chicken. S.
That is pretty good. Yeah, they do use books. Okay, just the fact that they use books makes me want to put. Oh, that was. Wait, that's Order. Okay. I grabbed the bard. I don't know why. I like the Order. I want to play with Order a little bit more this time around. They seem fun.
Yeah.
Use your
I haven't
words.
touched them at all yet.
Okay. And then our last, this is kind of the everything else tier. So we've got Bard, Arithmetician, no longer Mathematician, Dancer, Mime, Ninja, and Samurai.
I mean, you might as well just go ahead and move Arithmetician into S rank.
Yeah, we don't need to have a lot of discussion about that.
Yeah, pretty much. I would put Ninja in the S rank also. Just like the dual wield is just so powerful in this game.
And throw.
And throw.
Yeah, throw is very good.
Throw is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really argue with either of those. I don't know how much even needs to be said of like just how broken they can be if you know what you're doing. I haven't played with Bard and Dancer all that much. Does anybody have any Bard or Dancer experiences that they want to share to kind of like
nothing that will get me banned from the channel.
Help get a handle? Okay. Does that mean we just put them in the B tier if no one has any opinions about them?
I have a love affair with dancers.
Okay.
Mostly due to Mog and 6, but that's, yeah.
Okay.
My experiences with bards and dancers and tactics-based games are just Fire Emblem, so it's just, oh, cool, I get an extra turn.
Yeah,
it's pretty good usually.
It's good.
So.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to do Samurai last. Let's talk about Samurai. Does anybody like using Samurais? They're kind of fun. Surly,
I haven't
really like Samurais.
I haven't
Surly
actually
seriously yet. Surly Samurai.
Yeah. Yeah,
I had a
we like
choice
the
between
alliteration.
samurai and ninja, and I definitely went ninja.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I stop at ninja first. I get my dual wield, and then they go into samurai.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So where would you put samurai in the tier list then?
They're a solid A for me. They are not the most broken class. They aren't even like class-wise. It's not what I'm using them for. I'm using them for their stats and their swords.
Mm-hmm. I can get behind that. I do like having a samurai. I think of the kind of knight type jobs, they're definitely the best one, but some of the other jobs just like they get some of the abilities that you get are just so good. It's like it's hard to go back.
I'm loving that knight is still the only thing in the D rank.
Where it belongs.
Yeah.
Literal dead body class.
In heavy
I
armor.
mean,
They're just slow.
Yeah.
yeah. How about mime? Does anybody use mimes? They're kind of like the ultimate unlock. If you look at how much prerequisite stuff you have to do. So it's kind of hard to feel like it's worth it, but
No, it's worth it.
Yep.
okay.
Believe me when I say it, it's worth it.
Yep.
Very
Worth the effort to
strong.
put in. So we're gonna put him in the S.
Oh, absolutely. Your PX is about to pop an aneurysm.
Okay.
We'll reach to the
Actually, wait,
screen.
hold on. I might say mime A. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I feel bad now because I was just like fairly indifferent, but it's just like I don't know. Like part of my issue with this game is by the time you get to the end game, we didn't really talk about all the guest characters, but you have all the guest characters that have all their own special abilities, and in a lot of cases, they just kind of outshine what the normal jobs can do,
Mhm.
unless you really know what you're doing and you've been building towards it for like your entire playthrough. So I always just kind of get to the end of the game and like I'm just popping stuff with Orlando and whatever. I guess
What else you gonna do
I
with
did. I
Orlando?
do remember actually miming Orlando quite a bit when I was playing through the game, or my original playthroughs of the game. So maybe that's the case for mime to be an S tier. Is like it's another Orlando.
It can be
Orlando
anything you
2.
want it to be.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so we did our tier maker. How do y'all feel about this? Does it look good? Does it look accurate? Anything anybody wants to move before we? I don't know if we're shipping it. I don't even know what that means, but we're having some fun. Does this look like a good
Packed up.
good assortment?
Can we add an extra tier at the bottom and move knights down?
It didn't
Yeah.
give me an
We have
F tier.
A.
If we had an F
Get
tier,
some
we could make
separation
it.
here.
I feel like knights
Yeah.
are a little too close to the rest of the group.
Oh, hold on. I figured it out. Okay, hold on.
Oh, good.
We're doing it.
Hey.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
The power. F.
F tier August. Yes.
All right. Yeah. Knights
It's the new case
and
for knights.
yeah.
Well, this opens up
Yeah.
a whole new world of opportunities now.
Right? Now we can get some separation here.
August is definitely F tier. Chest jerk. I agree with that. It's
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
I don't
They
understand how.
did make him. They did make him extra slimy. We talked about all the good things the voice acting did. The bad things the voice acting did made me want to reach through my screen and punch that child.
Seems like some effective voice acting. Good.
His
Yeah.
entire personality was just poor shaming, and then you get to hear it out of his mouth, like his voice, and you're just like, oh god, he's even worse.
Ugh. Send him
well-
down my way. Gritty will fix him up.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm really glad we did this. This was a lot of fun. I think my takeaway is there's a lot of really good jobs in Final Fantasy Tactics. You just kind of have to know what you're doing. And yeah, I want to play as Orator more. I think that's my other one. I want to go down that rabbit hole, the word hole. So that was fun. Let's go ahead and kind of move into our last little bit here, our last couple segments. We wanted to talk a little bit, as we usually do, about recent news and developments in RPGs and things of that nature. I think the big one that I want to highlight, and then I know there were a few others that others maybe wanted to mention, but Pokemon ZA released this past week, or roughly, right? It was this past week. It was like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, the 16th.
Okay.
The 16th.
I finally have a game I want to play on my Switch 2. I'm very excited. I impulsively bought a Switch 2 because I didn't think I was going to be able to get one because I didn't get a pre-order. And then I just went and bought one on release day because a bunch of Targets around me just had them. But I have not played anything on it yet. So I'm very excited to play Pokemon ZA on my Switch 2. Has anybody had anyone else interested in checking that one out?
It looks good, and comparative to their previous release, it works and runs. So, like, good job, I guess.
Good.
Cleared that bar.
We like that. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like it when the games work at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of good. I've seen a lot of good buzz about it as well. So I think it could be fun.
Definitely been seeing a lot of people's characters that they've been doing a lot of the customization with. So that seems pretty cool. But yeah.
A new Digimon game too. I don't
it.
know if we. I don't know if we mentioned that.
No, we didn't. I have heard a lot of people saying they really like that one though. Have you played that at all, Kios?
Given the makeup of my community being a large percentage trans women, yes, I have. They love the Digimon.
What are you thinking about it so far? How's it been?
I think it's really good. There is also a demo, by the way. If I think the demo's still up. Yeah, it just there's something very comfortable about it that has been nice to tool around in.
Well, that's good. So if you're not a Pokemon person, you can be a Digimon fan as well, and some for every collectible monster enthusiasts eating good right now. So, and I know there's a couple games coming out soon that we wanted to mention. Icebleed, you wanted to mention a couple, I believe, right?
Yeah, I need Dragon Quest 1 and 2 like immediately. I've been keeping up with a lot of like the new stuff that they're adding to these versions, and I really loved what they added to Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. I won't say what they've added because I don't want to spoil it. I think the surprise factor that they added to it was really nice, and I'm hoping that they continue to do that with the HD 2Ds. But they've definitely did a lot of work, much needed work on Dragon Quest 2 specifically, and they've added a lot of like extra content that's going to be, I think that's going to make the game like really, really good. And then
yeah, I am very excited for checking that out as well. And I will just give a quick plug right now. That is going to be our next episode, is talking about Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So Ice Blue, we might have to have you back for that one also.
That's fine. I literally have a tattoo of Dragon Quest 3 on my arm here.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
I live and breathe Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest.
Nice.
The only other thing that I'm looking forward to that I'm salivating at the mouth is I'm finally getting Tales of Xillia remaster. And that is something I've been screaming. I went back and checked in my Discord, and I think it was like from 5 years ago, and the message literally just said, "Namco, give me Xillia remaster, please, I beg." It sucks, and I love it at the same time because like you have Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the 30th, and then Xillia remaster on the 31st, and I'm just like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, well, and another one we missed this past month, I do just want to shout out because this is one I do want to play. I guess it's out now. I didn't realize. I thought it was coming out a little later, but the remake of Trails in the Sky FC. Trails in the Sky first came out since our last episode as well, and that's one I want to replay for sure. I'm gonna make time for that one at some point. There's just too many good games right now. This has been a embarrassment of riches this year.
Yep.
And a lot of games that really needed to be remade that have been remastered or remade too. So we were talking about one of them today, but I think we're talking about more right now. So yeah, that's good. We can just kind of leave it there then. Just lots of good games. We're very excited to play. We're going to keep playing them. I do want to do for our Fresh Files podcast, since we are all about the newer games, I do want to take some time around the end of the year, maybe in January, to do like a 2025 recap or a best of 2025 episode or something like that. So, but if we do something like that, I'm definitely going to want to make sure we get the community involved. So more details on that soon, kind of working through some of the ideas there, but I think that would be a lot of fun to do as a community that loves RPGs. So, but yeah, just to kind of wrap things up and bring things home, because we've been going for over an hour just geeking out about Final Fantasy Tactics, which that is the idea. But there's a lot of other games that we've been playing or have been playing that we wanted to just kind of bring to the table and just kind of talk about what else we've been doing here. So we were just talking about Dragon Quest III Remake, so that was mine. I'll just kind of go first and talk about that for a second. I did not play Dragon Quest III ever before. A lot of the Dragon Quest remakes and stuff kind of got locked to the DS, I feel like, and I didn't have a DS for a really long time. It was not one of my preferred systems, so I'm getting to play it now. It got the really good like HD 2D treatment, and I'm just loving it. It is really fun to play. It still feels extremely old school, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's been very entertaining. So, Ice Blue, I'm sure you've played it a lot more than I have. Like, give me your impressions of the DQ3 remake.
I think the visuals, they did a phenomenal job with the visuals. I will, however, point out that the lack of Pachisi is a little disappointing.
I don't know what I'm missing.
You need to go back and play the older versions. The GBC version had a mini game in there that was just it was I guess kind of like Monopoly in a sense, but not really Monopoly. But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It brought me a lot of like enjoyment, because like you have to like specifically land on the end tile to finish the game, and a lot of the times the game is just like, oh, you're one movement over, oh, you're two movements over. So it's so good. But
Nice.
the visuals that they added, the new job class, the Monster Wrangler, is actually, it's really good. I think it was really good pre-patch. They definitely patched it since then, and they've definitely made it a lot worse, which is really unfortunate. And to kind of touch up on that, the speedrun route originated, like the original speedrun route of that was like triple Monster Wrangler, and you recruited like 20 monsters, and then you just did an astronomical amount of damage.
So it wasn't even it was like a Dragon Quest Dungeons game, or I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the name of the series. Sounds like that though.
Dragon Quest Monsters.
Yeah. No, that's fun.
Kind of, sort of, but like you didn't actually like recruit like the monsters into battle. And for this one, it's just you recruit monsters for like the monster arena. But by recruiting more monsters, you power up Monster Wrangler's abilities.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and that's, yeah. So I've been enjoying that. I haven't had a chance to finish it yet. I feel like I'm probably about a third of the way through the game.
Where exactly are you at?
Oh, it's been a few weeks since Tactics came out that I've played it, but it was like the spice dealer's daughter or son got kidnapped, or is that about a third of the way through the game, probably?
I'd say it's about a fourth.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I know it's a long game, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun, and it's got that old school feel that I appreciate, and it's like, you know, for all of the talk, there's something that's nice in a way. I think, especially as somebody who's played a lot of RPGs over the years, like if I have to, I can just go grind, and everything will be fine after I do that. So it's like, I appreciate that in some of the older games that, you know, a lot of the youngins probably don't appreciate, but to me there's just something comforting about that. It's like I don't get too upset, like with tactics or whatever. Same, if I have to go grind or something to get through something, that's just kind of how it works sometimes. So
Yeah.
all right. And I know, Kios, you wanted to talk about a spooky game, and that is very appropriate for October, so go ahead.
I have been playing Alien Isolation for the first time.
Oh, such a good game.
It is. I'm impressed. And I know this is going to make me pop out the Aleve, but it's 10 years old. It does not play like it's 10 years old. Like, it is incredibly, incredibly good. The puzzles are not too challenging, but I love the AI in that game. I really do. It is probably one of the best stealth experiences I've had since probably like the classic Thief games, in all honesty. Don't get me wrong, there's a certain charm about games where you have like the detection meter and stuff like that. It's so raw and visceral, and the alien AI is designed so well that it learns how you function. Like, I think that is so incredible, and the speedrunner in me hates it because that means it would be inconsistent to a certain point. But as a casual game experience, I love it. I love that I have to consciously think about what I'm doing and mix up my own play style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will just chime in. I don't know if Surly or Ice Blue, have either of you played Alien Isolation, or are you Alien Universe fans at all? Okay, well, allow me to geek out on your behalf then, because I am a huge Aliens fan. I love Alien Isolation. It is unbelievably stressful to play in a way that even most survival horror games are not. I think because of the stealth elements, and you just always feel like you're one mistake away from dying. Like if you do anything wrong, you will get severely punished. It is aged incredibly well too. I agree with everything you said about that. I've kind of done the same thing a few times and been like, I should play Alien Isolation again because I didn't quite finish it. I'm pretty far into it. But it's been a few years, and then you look back and you're like, wait, this game is from like, what was it, 2017? I want to say something like that.
I think it was 2014. Let me.
Oh my gosh! See, this is what we're talking about. It's just. It's such a good game, design-wise and graphics-wise, and all of that. It's aged incredibly well. So good. I'm glad you're getting a chance to enjoy it. So
turned 11 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well there you go. And it's a good time to be playing it because the new Alien TV show just wrapped up, which I definitely have opinions on. I don't want to get into all of that here. It had some really good moments. It was also just like painful at times to me, but. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch if you like alien stuff. Alien Earth is really good. So, did you watch Alien Earth, Kios?
I did not. Believe it or not, am not much of a TV person, but when it cycles around, I'll probably sit and binge watch it.
Okay. Yeah, it's only 8 episodes, and it's definitely worth the time if you like that kind of stuff. So. All right, Surly, what did you? I know you've been busy with real life things a lot since we were planning this episode, but you said you did have a game that you wanted to shout out. So
yeah, for those unaware, I was moving literally last week, so my game time's been a little light. So in the in-betweens, I've been playing some Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Which, if you're familiar with Vampire Survivor or any of those like large mob-based shooter kind of things, whatever you want to call that style of game.
Mhm.
I had been playing back in beta, and the 1.0 dropped, I think, start of September or something. Um, it's been great. It's a good chill. You do your runs, you make your meta progression, you make the characters level up, get access to new guns, level up the guns, level up your gear, which is new to me. It's been great. Nice, cathartic, easy, mindless, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, I have not played a Survivors game. Ferric was very into Vampire Survivor for a while, and I think there was another one as well. That's kind of like that. I think you'd say like twin stick. Like you rotate with one, and you're just like shooting constantly. It's that kind of thing.
Except the projectiles just do their own thing, so it's literally just a one stick. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
Yeah, yeah. You make choices from a pool. Then as you progress, you get more options on how to influence those choices. But yeah, everything's automated. You're just moving the character.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I haven't had a good brain off game in a while. I do like a good brain off game from time to time.
These definitely scratch that itch. So yeah,
Okay.
the numbers are flashy. There's lots happening on screen. Yet at the same time, you're just kind of
just giving it a
Yeah.
swirl.
yep.
Awesome. Well, that's
Great.
cool. And go ahead, Kios.
I was gonna say, I'll just bring it up on a whim. I have been playing a lot of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, and that just got more DLC.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is, but there is just. I love that game as a kid, but I have been spending so much time in it. Did you know it still has that game is like almost 20 years old, but it still has a competitive scene, like a very, very vibrant competitive scene.
That's nice. Yeah, I played that a little bit, I think, back in the day. But yeah, it's kind of got that whole. I mean, not like StarCraft, but it's got its like that is the game for certain people. It's got that community, so that's cool. They're still doing like DLCs and patches and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
Yeah, and as a big RTS fan, makes me very happy.
I bet. Iceblue, you wanted to talk about a game you've been speedrunning a lot lately, and I know this is something that you put a lot of work into. So I will yield the floor, and we all know the game you're going to talk about. So go ahead.
No, I think about a few months ago I picked up Chrono Trigger. Love that game. It's probably one of it's the second best RPG ever made. And it's I've been learning.
Hold on, time out. You can't just just like definitively say it is the second best RPG of all time and not say what the best RPG of all time is.
I mean,
I'm not gonna let you off the
Blaze,
hook on that one.
Blaze, you already know what the best RPG of all time is. It's Super Mario RPG.
All right, I figured that was your answer, but I didn't want to presume. So
That's
With
the best game ever. But yeah, no, I picked up the. I'm a big fan. Like, so I started out as a Zelda speedrunner, and I just kind of primarily stuck with those, and then I started like kind of like weaning off of Zelda speedruns and moved more into RPG speedrunning. And I've just kind of gradually moved into longer categories because I don't know why. I enjoy those longer category runs. Like right now I've been running 100% glitchless all quests for Chrono Trigger, which is I think the record with the manip is like a 5 hour 14.
Mhm.
So like it's I love those like long runs.
Mhm.
It's something that's just it's enjoyable for me because like there's so much to learn, and I think I spent a good portion of like my GDQ week just like kind of doing like reps from like starting 12,000 BC and running to the end of the game, and then doing the beginning and running to 12,000 BC, until I was finally ready to do runs. And yeah, now I have a 536 in the game. I'm still pushing, trying to get that sub 530. It's been an enjoyable experience.
Nice. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I think there's something about longer runs. I've had some longer runs that I've done. I usually will have to do them on the weekends because of work, and there's something about like it makes it more of an event. I don't know, you just get kind of like amped up for it in a way that I think is really stimulating and fun. That you don't like if you're just running even like a normal RPG or Super Mario RPGs like sub 3 hours, like you can knock one of those out after work on a weeknight if you really want to. But if you're going to do a longer run, it becomes a little bit more of an event, and I think that's part of the fun of that for sure. So
yeah. Other than that, like my casual game experience, like I haven't really been playing like anything casual. I log into RuneScape, old school RuneScape, and I just that's most of my nights.
Mm-hmm. Is that brain off like what we were talking about?
Yeah, no, that is like I'm almost like horizontal in the chair, just kind of like just playing.
Stop calling me out.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, yeah, thank you everybody. This was fun. I'm glad we got to have a great discussion of the Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, or Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, whatever you prefer to call it, enhanced edition. This was just a blast, and some of my favorite people. It's always nice just to spend some time chatting with y'all, so I'll just mention that as well. But as we outro here, I just want to give another reminder for those of you watching, and if you watch the VOD later or something like that, we are now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well as YouTube. If you get onto Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just search for RPGLB and you can find us. Drop us a follow, depending on which platform you watch on. And if you enjoy the show and you are new to RPG Limit Break, you can also join our community by checking out the Discord. Follow RPG Limit Break on social media on Blue Sky. It's at rpglimitbreak.bluesky.social. And of course, make sure that you follow on Twitch or YouTube if you're watching there as well. I want to thank Kios. I want to thank Surly. I want to thank Ice Blue. Thank you so much again for being here with us today, friends. Let's go Surly first. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you're up to these days.
You can find
Other than
me.
moving.
Yeah, you can find me sporadically. I don't stream a ton, but when I do, it's seriously_Surly over at Twitch. Otherwise, I am on Blue Sky for the most part, just reposting stuff. Most of the time, you're going to find me at the live events. So I'll be at Limit Break. I attend GDQs, located in the Midwest. So if you do stuff out this way, you'll see me there. And if you see, say hi. I always appreciate meeting people. So
yeah, Ice Blue.
You could find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/iceblue, and then also on Blue Sky. Somebody took Ice Blue, so I had to go with Ice Blue TV. Pretty unfortunate. But yeah, you can find me there. I attend GDQs, pretty much every single one of them nowadays. I don't have enough PTO to attend more events, so I kind of just like limit myself to GDQs. And yeah, you can, just come. If you see me at a GDQ, come say hi. I love meeting people, and I love like sitting down and having conversations. It's something that I'm just very passionate about.
Heck yeah. Can confirm. Good GDQ friend, Ice Blue. Kios, my awesome co-host. I think we've made that official now.
Yeah.
Where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitch. Probably in a little bit here. I have to finish working on a beef stew I'm cooking. But yeah, Cutest Little Monster on Twitch, on Blue Sky, and YouTube. You can also find me here occasionally. I've been doing some work with Sid and the rest of the content team for random encounters. I think the next one I am scheduled for is a near Christmas special. Not like the video game near, but close to Christmas. I have something.
I thought for sure you meant. I thought for sure you meant near, like near a very near Automata Christmas, and I was trying to imagine the tie-in. That would have been great.
I think if I ever bring the Nier Automata speedruns back, they'll take me away. We don't need to, we don't need to go there anymore. We don't have to live like this anymore.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was actually a really good segue to talking about our next episode of Fresh Files, which is scheduled for near Christmas. It's going to be Sunday, December 14th, and we'll be talking about, as we mentioned earlier, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. That'll kind of be our main topic for the show. But as you've seen for these first couple episodes, we kind of just dabble and talk about a lot of different things along the way as well. So we hope you'll join us when we are back for another Fresh Files podcast on December 14th. The game itself, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. This scared me a little bit. Releases in a little less than 2 weeks on October 30th. So I got to hustle up and finish this remaster so I can play another remake, so then I can go play another game. And it's just, stop releasing so many good video games. My God. There's just so much happening this year. There's too many games. But yeah, that comes out on October 30th. And like I mentioned earlier, we're also looking to do a 2025 year in review episode at or around New Year's, hopefully. So keep an eye out for that. We will certainly announce that if and when it comes together. But until then, everybody, enjoy your adventures, enjoy your video games. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye.